City of Corona, California. Date: July 26, 2021. Time: 11:55 p.m. The night is completely quiet. The final movie show inside Regal Edwards Corona Crossings has ended. The end credits of The Forever Purge are playing on the screen. Lights slowly turn on. The theater is almost empty. Just a few people. Empty popcorn tubs. Scattered cold drink cups. A perfectly normal Monday night. A few minutes later, a custodian comes in, carrying a trash bag and a torch. This is his daily routine, walking through the aisles and picking up discarded trash. Everything is going on as usual. Then his eyes fall on a corner of the theater. Two people, still sitting in their seats. At first he thinks maybe they're a couple, talking about the movie. He calls out to them, "Hello." The show is over. No response. He slowly moves forward, and then his eyes fall on a dark stain on the armrest. He turns his flashlight towards them, and the next second, a scream cuts through the entire theater and disappears. A young woman leans forward, and a young man lies slumped back on the seat. On the floor below, blood. 11:58 p.m. Emergency dispatch receives a call. Two moviegoers unconscious, possible head injuries. In just a few minutes, police, fire crew, ambulances all arrive at the theater parking lot. The entire building is sealed off. Staff stands outside, in shock. They can't understand what's happening. Paramedics rush into the auditorium, and within seconds, woman declared dead. Young man alive, but unconscious. He is lifted onto a stretcher and put on a ventilator. Crime scene photographers, seats, floor, bloodstains. Everything is recorded. That night, no one knew who these two were, their names. The next morning, the entire state was about to be known. July 27th, 2021 morning. This is a normal morning for people with corona. People are heading to the office. Children are leaving for camps. Morning rush has already begun at the cafe. But just a few blocks away, police have cordoned off the entire parking lot with yellow tape. Crime scene vehicles are parked on the asphalt. Media vans are slowly arriving. At that time, neither the woman's identity had been officially confirmed, nor that of the injured young man. Investigators said no weapon was recovered, no struggle was visible. The report stated, two victims under undetermined circumstances. Self-harm was immediately ruled out, but questions began to mount. Who fired the shot? The theater was almost empty. Why didn't anyone hear the sound? And where did the weapon go? By noon, the first breaking news appears on Southern California news portals. Attack at movie theater. Two victims hospitalized, one critical. Names are not disclosed, but panic spreads through the city. By evening, news crews from Los Angeles also arrive. Headlines change. Double tragedy in Corona. Shooter is still at large. Social media is ablaze. Some say it was an accidental shooting. Some allege gang violence. Some add a drug angle. But the truth is, no one knows. People were asking the same question. How could someone fire without being seen on mid-security cameras? The police did not confirm any theory. They simply said, no suspects. Surveillance footage is being reviewed. Ticket logs are being checked. The theater is closed indefinitely. People on local Facebook groups and forums write, "Now I'm afraid to even go to the movies alone." Schools and colleges issue advisories. Don't spread rumors. Trust only official information. Corona police later confirmed. Riverside County's senior detectives and forensic ballistics experts have now joined the case. Now the entire police team has one goal: reconstruct the last moments inside Theater 9. And then another shocking detail comes to light. When the attack happened, loud gunfire was being heard in the movie scene. That's why a few people in the theater couldn't understand that the sound they were hearing wasn't from a movie, was from reality. The next morning, the police officially confirmed these were not random victims. They were a couple on a date. Their names were Riley Goodrich and Anthony Barrios. July 28, 2021, when their names appeared in the media, what had been a private tragedy became a headline story across California. Anthony Michael Barrios. Who was he? Anthony was born on August 9, 2001. He grew up in Southern California with his family, with his mother, Bree, and Catherine Barrios. Since childhood, confident, friendly, and a boy who instantly connected with people. At school, he was active in both academics and athletics. He played soccer. He trained in martial arts. He was a regular at school events. Teachers used to say, he thinks more maturely than his age. In 2019, Anthony started his account on TikTok. At first, just fun videos, light-hearted clips. Then slowly, his content started going viral, and by summer 2021, Anthony had nearly 1 million followers. He was also active on Instagram, sharing moments from his daily life. But even with so much popularity, Anthony never became arrogant, always humble, always approachable. Online, he was a star, and in real life, people's favorite. And who is Riley Goodrich? The girl sitting next to Anthony. She was no less. Riley came from a close-knit family, very close to her parents. In school, she was captain of the cheerleading team, star player on the volleyball court, the girl who always smiled. Teachers and friends said talking to Riley was never difficult. She made everyone her own. After high school, Riley received a scholarship to Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. She chose a business and marketing major. Despite college, she often returned home on holidays because her world was her family. By summer 2021, Riley had completed her freshman year, and Corona had returned for vacation. July 4th, 2021, the day everything started. Independence Day party among friends. For the first time in Riley's life, Anthony arrived. He was a little older, great sense of humor, easy smile. They got along well. Numbers were exchanged. The chat began. No pressure, no hurry, just two people trying to understand each other. When Anthony asked for a date, Riley only said yes. When her parents had met him, Riley valued her father's opinion a lot. Initially, her parents were a little cautious. They were skeptical when they heard about the content creator career, but when they talked to Anthony, their fear vanished. He spoke respectfully, calm, a thoughtful guy. Their first official date was set, July 26th. The plan was simple, dinner movie. After dinner around 9 p.m., they both arrived. Regal Edwards Corona Crossings. This place was special to Riley. She had grown up here. They chose the Forever Purge 9:30 p.m. show. It was a weekend. The theater was almost empty, but no one knew the message of this movie was about to come true in real life tonight. In the middle of a movie, around 10 p.m., Riley texted her mother, "The movie is a little boring, but the company is great. I'm happy with Anthony." This was her last message to her family. Everything seemed normal in the auditorium, but investigators later discover a young man was sitting alone in the back rows. Strange behavior. He didn't come alone. He was with a small group. But before the movie started, his friends, upset by his behavior, left the theater, and he remained alone behind. The movie was in its final scenes. The credits were about to roll, and in that brief moment, 2 shots were fired. Due to the movie's loud sound, no one heard anything. Riley was shot directly. He died instantly. Anthony was shot in the head. He remained alive, but fell unconscious. The lights came on. People got up and ran out. No one looked back. The auditorium emptied. Only 2 people, who were never to rise again. Riley's time of death, approximately 11:45 p.m. Emergency call 13 minutes later, and that's where it all begins. One of the most confusing crime cases of the corona. Inside Theater 9, police found 2 bullets. Close-range firing. Shooter was standing right behind the seat. No struggle. No warning. No weapon. Blood was on the seats. On the floor too. But the shell casings were missing. The gun was also missing. And this complicated the case even further, because without a weapon, the police couldn't even tell what model of gun it was, where it came from, and what the shooter's experience level was. The first question facing the police was this a case of self-harm after the crime? Forensic experts immediately rejected this theory. There was no gunpowder residue of any kind on the hands of either victim, meaning neither Riley fired the gun, nor Anthony. But one more thing baffled investigators. Riley's purse was missing. Inside it, ID, wallet, personal items, all were missing. This could only mean one thing. The attacker had taken the purse after the assault. Processing was extremely difficult. Throughout the day, dozens of people passed through the theater. Armrests, doorknobs, seats. Random fingerprints were everywhere. The lab had hundreds of DNA samples, hundreds of fingerprints collected but no direct hit. Parking lot cameras. Many vehicles were seen coming and going, but faces were unclear. Number plates were blurred. And the biggest problem, there were no cameras inside the auditorium. Due to privacy policy, there is no recording inside the theater, meaning the exact moment of the attack was never recorded. Police created a timeline from phone data. Riley's last message, 10:15 p.m. After that, Riley's phone silent, Anthony's phone silent. Emergency call 11:58 p.m. This means attack window between 11:30 and 11:45 p.m. At this point, the case had involved Corona Police Department, Riverside County Sheriff's Department, medical examiners, forensic ballistics experts. Bullets were sent to the lab. Reports confirmed. Riley close-range headshot, Anthony close-range headshot. Both bullets were fired from the same gun. Likely weapon, 9mm handgun. By the morning of July 27th, police were certain of one thing. The shooter was inside the theater during the movie. He had left before the lights came on. No witnesses appeared. No weapon was found. And the most chilling thing, this didn't seem like a personal fight or anger. This was a cold, calculated execution. The case was officially declared targeted double homicide. And there was only one name at the top, unidentified shooter. Next step of investigation, ticket sales verification, cashier confirmed. A total of only 6 tickets were sold, 2 Riley and Anthony. For a group of young men, the direction became clear from here. The shooter was either one of these 4, or someone had entered forcibly. But the second theory was immediately rejected. Auditorium doors auto-lock. No employee noticed any late entry. So now it's only a circle of 6 people. The police opened the booking system, but the problem was this. Tickets were purchased with cash, no name, no phone number, no email, just the cashier's memories. According to them, boy around 20 to 22 years old, possibly Latino descent, completely calm, no aggressive behavior. Parking lot footage shows them getting out of the car, getting popcorn, entering the theater, everything normal. But a security guard shared a shocking incident. One of the boys was behaving strangely, talking to himself, and seemed very restless. The police's most terrifying realization was this. The Forever Purge movie was filled with loud chaos, sirens, screams, rapid gunfire. The shooter chose the perfect moment. While bullets were being fired on screen, he fired real bullets. That's why no one heard a thing. Initially, the police thought maybe all 4 could be involved. But forensic evidence disproved this theory. No extra footprints, no struggle, no signs of group involvement. Final conclusion: only one person committed the crime. The remaining three, either they didn't understand anything, or they were deliberately keeping quiet. Those three had already left before the movie ended. The police issued a public appeal. If you know anything about these four boys, then call the tip line immediately. But no solid leads were found. The shooter looked as if every trace had been removed. Then, 3 days after the crime, a call comes in on the tip line. Caller says, "I know about a guy who was behaving strangely the other night, and he looks just like the guys from the theater." Caller gives a name: Joseph Jimenez, 20 years old, resident from an area outside of Corona. The police immediately checked the records. A car was registered in his name, which was seen in the theater parking lot that night. That was enough. The search warrant was approved. Within a few hours, officers arrive. A small trailer house in the outskirts of Corona. The door is knocked, and inside, police find Joseph Jimenez alive. He was disoriented. His speech was incoherent. Sometimes he would talk to himself. Sometimes he would stop mid-sentence. What the police found during the search became the biggest turning point in the case: a 9mm handgun, Riley Goodrich's wallet, along with his ID card and bank cards. This was the first solid and direct evidence connecting Joe Jimenez to the crime scene. The gun was immediately sent to the ballistics lab, and the results made everything clear. This was the gun that had been used to fire the bullets inside the theater. That day, Joseph Jimenez was arrested and taken to the Corona Police Department. During questioning, sometimes he would be quiet, sometimes completely blank. Sometimes he would deny firing the shot. Sometimes he would say, "I got the gun somewhere." But when he was asked about Riley's wallet, he had no answer. Investigators also discovered Jimenez had no criminal record. He lived alone. He only worked part-time jobs. Neighbors also later reported he would yell at night, as if he was arguing with someone, but there was no one there. At the time, these things were considered normal, but later, these were to become the most important clues. After Jimenez's arrest, the police tracked down his three friends, who had come to the theater with him on July 26th. What they told was shocking. According to them, Jimenez already seemed mentally disturbed, talking to himself, sudden nervous laughter at the ticket counter, going inside, whispers, more panic, frequently looking back. 30 minutes later, he said, "I'm going to the washroom." After a while, he returned. He had a box in his hand. A friend asked, "What's in this?" Jimenez casually said, "It's a weapon." Everyone thought he was joking, but there was no joke in his eyes. Out of fear, his three friends left the theater without informing security. They didn't know. They were leaving a double murder behind them. During subsequent interrogation, Jimenez admitted to the crime, but the reason he gave that was equally horrifying. She said, "I kept hearing voices." A voice, whose name she gave as Abigail. That voice told her, "People here want to kill you. You have to act first. This is your self-defense." Jimenez said she had been diagnosed with schizophrenia. She was on psychiatric treatment, but she had stopped taking medication. As soon as she stopped taking medication, the noises and sounds intensified. That night, violent scenes in movies started giving her signs. He said, "I was shooting to save my life." The biggest legal question arose. Did Jimenez really have a mental breakdown, or was he justifying his crime? For the police, now this case wasn't just about murder. It had also become one of insanity versus intent. After being shot, Anthony was taken to Corona Regional Medical Center. Doctors performed multiple surgeries. Neurologists tried their best, but Anthony never regained consciousness. Thousands of people began writing on social media, "Pray for Anthony." Life sustained on machines for 3 days. July 31st, 2021, doctors declared brain death. Anthony's parents made the decision to remove life support. That day, Anthony was officially pronounced dead. But Anthony was an organ donor, and his organs saved many lives. For both Riley and Anthony, hundreds of people gathered at the memorial. Family, friends, classmates, online followers. For Riley's parents, this was another blow. Now the case has officially become double homicide. February 2024, trial begins. Riverside County Superior Court. Prosecution says this was a planned execution. Defense says Jimenez was legally insane. Prosecutors' biggest point raised: stealing Riley's wallet was proof that he was making conscious decisions. Key witness, Carlos Gonzalez. He confirmed Jimenez's unusual behavior, returning with the gun and leaving the theater. Psychiatric experts were also divided. One said he had schizophrenia, but he was in control. Another said he understood the difference between right and wrong. After several weeks, the jury announced its verdict. First-degree double homicide, guilty. Theft, guilty. Punishment, life imprisonment without parole. In the courtroom, Riley and Anthony's parents were sitting. Upon hearing the verdict, tears welled up in their eyes. But there was also this: justice had been served. This case, not just a crime story. It's a warning, the consequences of ignoring mental health, and the end of two lives in a moment. Riley was walking away with a bright future. Anthony had become an inspiration to thousands. And both of them were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.